Alright, so going forward with the techniques of integration, in this video we want to use a technique called u-substitution. We commonly call that u-sub, or more formally we call that the change of variable. So we'll do a couple of examples. We'll see when do we use u-substitution, why do we use it, and we'll do quite a lot of examples to get familiar with this method. So I'll first give you the concept of why we actually need u-substitution and when does it actually work. So the common case of u-substitution is when we have an integral, say an integral that involves a composite function, let's say f of g of x, that's an example of a composite function, and the derivative of the embedded function here. So u-substitution is very handy when dealing with integrals of this kind. Let me show you why. Actually, u-substitution is the reverse of the chain rule for differentiation. So in this case, if I let u to be the function inside here, g of x, and I take derivatives on both sides, you can see that this becomes du, the derivative of g of x, that's g prime of x, dx. And so I'm now going to change the variable in this integral. Every x is going to be replaced with u, except for this, because I know it's going to cancel out already, and that's the beauty of this technique. So now we have the integral of f of u, because g of x is u, and then I'll keep the derivative of g here because it's going to cancel out. So I also replace dx, that's very important. I'm changing to u, so I have to integrate with respect to u, so I'll replace dx with, if you look at this, dx is actually du divided by g prime of x, and now this cancels out with this, so we now have the integral of f of u du, which I can write as f of u. Let's say capital F of u is the antiderivative of this, plus a constant of integration, of course, and usually we want to substitute back for u, which was originally g of x. So we have f of g of x, okay, plus a constant, and there we have our final solution. So let's take a couple of examples to see how this actually works in practice. Alright, so for our first example, we'll take the integral of x squared times 3 minus 10x cubed to the power 4 with respect to x. Alright, so look at this integral here. As you can see, we have two functions. First of all, we have this part here and this part here, but it turns out that the second function is actually a composite function, and the function inside here, you can see 3 minus 10x cubed then to the power 4. So what I'm going to do here is to let u to be equal to 3 minus 10x cubed. Again, as you can see, I choose what to let to be u wisely. I choose one such that its derivative is going to contain this term here, x squared, okay? But of course, don't be afraid to test out multiple things here. Probably try letting this to be u, try letting this and see what works. But with some bit of experience, you will be able to see at first hand which one should be let to be u. Okay, so let's take derivatives on both sides. So du equals, the derivative of 3 is 0, the derivative of this is negative 30x squared dx. Next, we will substitute for all x's in this expression. So I have now the integral of x squared times, of course I don't substitute for x squared because it's going to cancel out anyways. So this one here is now u to the power 4, okay? And then instead of dx, I'll have du divided by negative 30x squared, alright? Okay, so let's go on. Of course, 1 over negative 30 is a constant, so I can pull that out. So I have the integral of x, of course this cancels out with this, as you can see. So I have u to the power 4 with respect to u. So again, you can see the role of u substitution here is to change a seemingly complicated integral into something that is very easy to work with. We're already familiar with the standard way of integrating polynomials, so it's easier to work with this rather than this. Of course, if you had time, you could expand out all this, but I bet that would take a lot of time than, integrating this, single polynomial here. So this is going to be negative 1 over 30. The integral of this is u to the power 5. You just add a 1 here and divide by this new power plus a constant of integration. This is going to be negative u to the power 5. 30 times 5, that's 150, plus a constant. And then the final step is to substitute back for u. So that's negative. So our u is here. 3 minus 10x cubed to the power 5 divided by 5 plus a constant of integration. Alright, let's take on another example. Okay, so for our second example, let's have the integral of x divided by the square root of 1 minus 4x squared dx. So again here you have two functions. You have this part here and this part. So which part contains the derivative, which is exactly the other? Okay, so as you can see, the derivative of this function right here involves an x. Okay, so I'll actually, by letting this to be u, I'll reproduce an x which will cancel out with this, so that I have changed the variable from x to u. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to let u to be 1 minus 4x squared. Now take note, I don't actually let this with a square root because that would actually complicate things. So for now, we just let the function inside. We started by talking about composite function. So you don't let the whole composite, but the function that is actually a composite of the other, okay, is what you let to be u. So let's take derivatives on both sides. Du equals negative 8x. Just drop the power and reduce this power by 1. Of course, this is with respect to x. So this implies that dx is negative 1 over 8x, alright, times du. So I'm going to substitute for all x's in this expression. So let's go ahead and do that. Have the integral of, so x, I'll just leave that x there because it's going to cancel out, alright, divide by the square root of, so what's inside here, the whole of that is u, times, instead of dx, I have this, negative 1 over 8x du. So you can see that this x cancels out with this x. I can write this negative 1 over 8 outside. So the integral of 1 over the square root of u du, that's negative 1 over 8, the integral of u to the power negative a half. So if I write this, this is a little bit easier to interpret. So I have negative 1 over 8 times, what's the integral of u to the power negative 1 half? So you just add a 1 here, that becomes u to the power a half, and then divide by 1 half, which actually creates a 2 here, plus the constant of integration. And finally, this is going to be 2 by 8 by 2, that's negative 1 over 4. I'll substitute for u, which is actually this, 1 minus 4x to the power a half. So we just put back the square root plus a constant of integration. Alright, let's take on more examples. Alright, so for our third example, have the integral of 1 over x plus the square root of x. Now I have to mention here that in the previous two examples we had a composite function and a derivative. So we only had to identify what function will give us a derivative that is exactly the other function, so that we actually cancel out one of the functions and change the variable. It was that easy. But some cases of u-substitution will not involve the composite function and derivative case like we've seen in the previous two examples. So how do we deal with such examples? Well, in this case you have to choose the substitution wisely in such a way that you will still substitute for all the x's and yet come up with a simpler function, okay? Now, like I said, don't be afraid to test out a few things here. Try letting u to be the whole of this, try letting u to be this, try letting u to be this, and with time you will develop more skills on what you should actually let. Now for this function here, it would be wise to let u to be root x. Why is that so? As you can see, if I square both sides, I can easily express u in terms of x, alright? I can say, for example, u squared equals x. It's easier to interchange the two without making the expressions so complicated. So I guess this is going to be a pretty nice substitution for this. So let's take derivatives on both sides. I could use this or this, it doesn't really matter. So taking derivatives here, that's 2u du. This is just a dx, okay? So you can see that dx is actually 2u du. I'll now substitute here. So that's the integral of 1 over. So instead of having x, I'll have u squared plus, instead of having root x, I'll just have a u here, okay? And then where we have dx, as you can see, I'll substitute that with 2u du. So this here is 2u du. Alright, that's a nice one because now I can write this as 1 over u into u plus 1, and then this is 2u du. So this u cancels out with this u. This 2 here is just a constant. So I pull it out, then I have 1 over u plus 1 du, and boom, this is something that we actually know how to deal with. The integral of this is 2 times the natural log of u plus 1. We know the integral of 1 over u plus 1 is the natural log of u plus 1, of course, plus a constant of integration. Finally, I'll replace back u with root of x. So we have 2 times the natural log of root of x plus 1 plus a constant. Okay, so example number 4. Example number 4, let's have the integral of 1 over x times the natural log of x dx. Okay, so let's take a moment and look at this function here. I'll actually write this as the integral of 1 over x times 1 over the natural log of x dx. Okay, so what's important here is you can see that we have 1 over x and then we have 1 over natural log of x. I think you suspect that here we have a function and a derivative somehow, a composite function and a derivative. So if you look at this term here, natural log of x, its derivative is 1 over x. So perhaps it's a good idea to let u to be this term here because that's going to reproduce 1 over x somehow, which may cancel out with this. So let's do that. So we'll let u to be the natural log of x. I take derivatives on both sides, so du is 1 over x dx. And of course dx is u, oh not u, that's rather x times du. Alright, so let's substitute for all x's here. So this is the integral of 1 divided by x times, instead of natural log of x, we replace that with u, and instead of dx, we replace that with x du. So you can see that this x cancels out with this x. Now we have the integral of 1 over u du, and what do we have there? That's just the natural log of u plus a constant of integration, which is the natural log of the natural log of x plus a constant. I just substitute back for u here. Alright, this is a nice one. Let's check on more examples. Alright, example number 5. This is going to be the last example for this video. So I have the integral of, so I have exponent x times the cosine of 1 minus exponent x dx, and we actually have limits from 0 to natural log of 1 plus pi. Alright, so this is a nice one here because it has limits on it. So let's begin by doing the u sub here. As you can see, we have two functions, this part and this part here. Now one special thing with this part here is that, as you can see, the inner function here, when I take its derivative, somehow I will have exponent of x reappearing, which may cancel out with this. So it's brilliant to let u to be this function here. Let's go on and do that. So let u to be 1 minus exponent of x. Take derivatives on both sides. That's going to be, okay, the derivative of this is negative exponent x dx. So we'll use this to substitute. Next, we'll change the limits from x to u. These limits here are given for x, but we've changed the variable from x to u, so we've got to change the limits too. So we'll just say when x equals to 0, but we know that u equals this, so I'll just use this expression here to find what u is. So u is 1 minus exponent 0, which is actually 0 because exponent 0 is 1. Okay, so 1 minus 1 is 0. And when x equals this, the log of 1 plus pi, u is going to be 1 minus exponent of the log of 1 plus pi, which is actually 1 minus, so this is the antilog of the natural log, so that's just 1 plus pi. And finally, we just have negative pi. So I will rewrite this whole integral as the integral from 0 to negative pi exponent of x times cosine of u times, instead of dx, I write du out of negative exponent x. So this cancels out with this, and we have the integral from 0 to negative pi of, I'll just say negative cos u du. So let me clear up this and we actually finish up with this. Alright, so this is actually an easier integral that we're familiar with. So the integral of negative cosine of u du, this is actually negative, so this is from 0 to negative pi. The integral of cosine of u, that's sine of u, and we're integrating from 0 to negative pi. So let's put in the limits. So we have negative sine of negative pi minus sine of 0, just put in the lower limit, which is just 0 minus 0, which is a 0. Alright, thanks for watching this video about u-sub. More techniques and more videos coming up. If you like this, subscribe to the channel for more. Give me a thumbs up, leave for me a comment to tell me what you think about this. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.